Yeah. All right. How about this one, Shane? College game day coming to town, Shane, down in Nashville, as Missouri is at Vanderbilt, Shane. Vanderbilt favored by 2.5 points. Vanderbilt's top 10. What? Missouri's top 15. What? This is the age of college football we're in, Shane, and I love it. Over under 52.5, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ESPN. Who do you got in this battle of playoff hopefuls?
I tell you, I've adopted these Mizzou Tigers, right? Everybody knows. Everybody gets tired of it. I get tagged all the time saying, why you're from Tennessee. I get more Vol fans get upset when I talk about Mizzou. They're like, how dare you? You know, I get it. I fell in love with these guys. I went up there, loved the campus, loved the people, still love them. You know, and I love Drink. I feel like he is exactly what I want in a coach, and that's why his name's been floating around here. Now, I'm not saying he's been packing all week. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's completely dialed into this game. This is game day. And, you know, he's upset. He's pissed off that they weren't recognized earlier in the season, yet we're going to Nashville to a one-loss Vanderbilt team, and they're going to get that opportunity. So there's there's a lot on this game for Mizzou, right? Because Mizzou fans are expecting to win it. Now, on the other side, you got Vanderbilt. Here's a football team that I've doubted since I was born. Yeah, I've never thought Vanderbilt has arrived. Even when Franklin was, I felt like it was a gimmick. I couldn't wait for him to leave, and now he's potentially coming back in the SEC, whatever. But I'm saying I believe now, right? And for me, it was in a loss. It was that Alabama loss. I'm watching that game, and I'm saying, you know, they lost that game, but they lost the game, making stupid mistakes. You know, I feel like Pavia, how can he not be in a Heisman race right now? How can he not be the number one? I get there are some great talented quarterbacks, some great talented receivers and running backs in this country, but nobody is elevating a football team higher than this man right here, Diego Pavia. Unreal, just unreal. I'm glad you brought Bo up. This is, for me, when I'm trying to pick a winner and a loser, I find the weak spots, right? And right now, Bo is the weak spot. We know that Mizzou has got an elite running game. No doubt in my mind. Anybody that watches it, you watch that little muscle hamster running out there. Yeah, I tell you, I can't wait to get him on one of my fantasy football teams, you know, next season. But when you make Mizzou one-dimensional, you see exactly what happens, and a football team takes advantage of it. So, Mike, I haven't got a lock, but I've got one coming your way. And a lot of people don't realize this, but did you know that Vanderbilt got its name from Cornelius Vanderbilt?
No.
Now, yes, absolutely. One of the Vanderbilt. In fact, my brother just went to the Biltmore, part of the family. All right. Mm-hmm. But what a lot of people didn't realize is he had a dumber cousin named Shenarius Vanderbilt. And he's presenting this week's lock of the week. Give me Vanderbilt. I'm a believer. 31, Mizzou 20. Lock it down, baby.
11-point win.
Yes. I feel like you talked about it earlier. Classic keep away. We're going to run. Both teams are cool with that. They're both cool with having 3 or 4 possessions during this entire game. So when that happens, each possession is pivotal that you get some points. And which quarterback do I have more confidence in? Without a doubt, it is the Heisman winner, Diego Pavia.
They want to see that photo again. So I'm going to
Shenarius Vanderbilt.
Oh, mercy.
Shit.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If Missouri wins, Ahmad Hardy. If Vanderbilt wins, Diego Pavia. The winner, should the winner, would you consider the Heisman front runner?
Say it one more time.
Like, let's say Missouri wins because Ahmad Hardy has like his best game to date, or Vanderbilt wins because Diego Pavia has his best game to date.
Yeah.
Would you consider the winner? I'm not saying you're guaranteeing they're going to win the Heisman, but should be like the Heisman frontrunner?
Well, I think Hardy would get back into the race because he's not in it right now. He got dropped off. But I think Pavia, without a doubt, should be the front runner.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to think about.
Yeah.
I certainly think points could be at a premium here, Shane. And I am a little worried about Vanderbilt's defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're good. They're not near as good as the offense, of course, but offense is going to chew up the clock. Again, Missouri's going to chew up the clock, I think, on offense, particularly if they're able to have success on the ground, which I think they will. So, man, I don't anticipate a high-scoring game. I think this game will come down to a mistake or two potentially.
Yeah.
Fumble here last week was fun, wasn't it, with Diego Pavia and LSU and all the play. Well, not if you're an LSU fan, but if you're not, all the Diego Pavia magic out there.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can burn you, Shane. Sometimes it looks like magic till it looks like dog shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you could easily force him into some kind of horrendous mistake, and Missouri could run their ass out of the building. And I'm interested. Are you at all nervous, Shane, that old Drink? And I think he's a really good coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think the team takes the pulse of their coach. Really good coaches. I think you see that. And, man, is he playing the disrespect card this week?
Yeah.
I have a feeling in that locker room it's heavily disrespect. Does that concern you at all?
A little bit. There's a lot more noise coming out of Columbia than there is Nashville right now.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, Shane, there probably should be. You know why?
Why?
Because Missouri is going to lose. Give me Vanderbilt 24, Missouri 20. I almost had a Morristown this damn game too, but
Yeah.
I can only do 2 here. But I think this could go either way. I just think Vanderbilt's too hot right now. I think they're like a team of destiny.
Yeah.
But I mean, would it surprise me at all? Literally, no, it would not. I just think it'll come down to one mistake. Who makes the mistake? Bo's been throwing picks. Diego hasn't. So that's critical in this one. I think Bo makes a mistake he shouldn't have, and hell, just watching that Auburn game,
Right.
he made the plays at the end. So maybe I shouldn't be doubting him. Maybe he is getting better. But we were about 3 quarters into that football game. I said, well, hell, I can't tell the difference between Jackson Arnold and Bo Perbula. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I literally couldn't. So you're telling me he's going to outduel maybe the Heisman frontrunner on the road? I ain't buying it, Shane.
I think that would be the reason, though, because, I told you when we did our recap Sunday that I just felt like Bo isn't the same Bo we saw week 1 and 2, right? There was a lot more swag to him, So there was it just felt like he came in, he owned the room and wasn't afraid to put the ball there because he knew it'd be there. And you're starting to see some of these young receivers do some special things for Mizzou. But if that does not take, then you're just you're making life so difficult for Hardy and Roberts. Because if they can just put 9 in the box, 8 or 9 in the box, then the game's over. But if that 8 or 9's in there, but you make them pay, which again, Vanderbilt, they're not. This isn't a damn LSU defense. This ain't an Oklahoma defense. It's a serviceable defense. It's a bend but don't break defense. But I feel like you can have some yards against them. But if you do not take advantage of those possessions, that's the key, right? Like you said, turnovers. If you don't get something out of those drives, Vanderbilt's going to play keep away for about 6 minutes, and you're going to be like, damn, we're already in the third quarter. That's what it feel like.
It'll be one heck of a game. And I also think it's going to be one heck of a game in Nashville. How about it, Steven? Mizzou on the road at Vanderbilt. College game day coming to town. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. Nationally televised on ESPN. Vanderbilt favored by 2.5. The over-under's 52.5 points. And, buddy, Eli Drinkwitz will tell you every opportunity he's given, they don't respect us. They don't want us. This is all about Vanderbilt. He's using all the tricks in his bag, Steven, to let it be known that Missouri, even though they beat Vanderbilt 5 times in a row, that all anybody cares about is this story that is Vanderbilt football, while little old Mizzou, top 15 in the country, 6-1, coming into town. Who do you like here, Steven? Mizzou at Vanderbilt.
Got a little bit of Dabo there, little old Clemson. No one can beat us, So I think the Drinkowitz is playing this the right way, right? Like it's kind of, maybe kind of silly to Mose, but I mean, you're going on the road to play a top 10 to Vanderbilt team that is a playoff, but as playoff potential here. I mean, it is a potential elimination game for both teams. Both teams could win out, but I think it's going to be hard for all these teams in November to survive. So there is a ton at stake here, just in terms of playoff SEC positioning. Great matchups as well. I cannot wait to watch Diego Pavia play this Missouri defensive front, because Missouri's defense holding teams to less than 3 yards per carry. They did give up some yardage to Auburn last week, but just the talent on this defensive front. And Pavia carved up LSU last week. Now he gets a chance against this Missouri front. I can't wait to see how that battle plays out. And then I can't wait to see if Ahmad Hardy can get on track. He's been quiet for 2 weeks in a row. I think this matchup is a little bit better for him in Missouri. If you look at the, kind of who Vanderbilt has played, Hardy's the best running back that Vanderbilt has faced this year. They're giving up 3.4 yards per carry, but I think Hardy in Missouri can find some room on the ground. And that's important because if you can run the ball, take a little bit of pressure off Prabula. We know he's thrown some interceptions recently. Vanderbilt has been pretty good at generating pressure with 20 sacks, but they're also pretty vulnerable in the secondary. Nussmeier's had success. Simpson. We saw Utah State earlier in the year as well. So I think if Prabula has time and Hardy is running the ball, I think Missouri's got the ingredients to go on the road and win this game. Vanderbilt had 36 minutes of time of possession last week against LSU. And I think about that and thinking about the run game for Missouri, thinking about Pavia. These teams are not totally opposites here, but it does feel like the style is going to matter a lot. Like if Pavia's got the ball for 37 minutes, Missouri's not winning this game probably. But if Hardy's running for 150 yards, Missouri's probably got a good chance to go on the road and get the upset. Also, I think in a close game like this, 2 things to watch. Number 1, obviously, is turnovers. But number 2, big plays. Both of these offenses, just in SEC play, are not generating a ton of big plays. They're not at the top of the leaderboard in the SEC. So it does feel like in a game where you've got 2 teams that can piece together drives, you got 2 mobile quarterbacks, which team can maybe break 1 or 2 big plays and gets a turnover probably wins this game. I think Ahmad Hardy is going to have a good game. In Diego Pavia, I trust.
Oh, no.
Give me Vanderbilt 26, Missouri 23, and what I think is a 4-quarter thriller, much like last week's in Nashville was with LSU.
Well, you often say, Stephen, you trust, or like in these coin toss type ball games, you like to go with the quarterback and head coach you trust the most. I don't want to speak for you, but does that mean you trust Clark Lee more than Drink, or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. I think really this is just a play that I'm taking Diego Pavia more than anything. But I think it's very easy to pencil in, like if you're just doing predictions, say Vanderbilt's favored, they're at home, they should win this game. I think if you take a step back and look at some of the matchups, I do think there is Missouri might be a little undervalued here. And I think the spread being 2-3 points kind of shows that. So Hardy to me is the key because, and I think maybe in a good way, if you're Missouri, he didn't have a good game last week and they still found a way to win. This Missouri defense is tough. Prabula's rushing, Hardy's rushing. There's a real path here. So how the battle plays out in the trenches and how the 2 quarterbacks fare is probably more important to me than the head coach battle here. But I trust Pavia at home for sure.
If Vanderbilt wins, what are the How likely is it they make the college football playoff?
It's getting more likely, but I think their playoff hopes are probably going to come down to that game against Tennessee. Because I think, and this is just, I'm playing the odds here, I'm guessing they are going to be an underdog to Texas. Now, they could win that game, but if you play the Vegas odds, there's the second loss if they win on Saturday. I think they beat Auburn. I think they beat Kentucky. So basically, you're setting up win and in against Tennessee on November 29th. So
well, of course, you're leaning Texas there, but not surprised.
I was using the Vegas odds there. I do.
Now, how about Missouri? If they drop to Vanderbilt, what are the odds they make the playoff, you think?
I think they have a chance to play their way back in, but I think just looking at the resume here, Kansas is a fringe bowl team right now. You would have lost to Alabama. If you get to 10-2, that's wins over A&M and Oklahoma, which are certainly top 25 teams. So it gets a little better if you can win out.
But as we discussed, Auburn and Carolina, they both might miss the bowl games too.
Yeah, I think just comparing Missouri to some other 10-2 teams, if you beat, let's say, if you beat Texas A&M and Oklahoma, that's 2 top 25 wins. You're right there in the bubble to make the playoff. Not having a major non-conference victory, if we get to comparing resumes at 10-2 or in Oklahoma at 9-3, that might be problematic. But I just looking at the bubble, I think if you're 10-2, you're going to be in good shape because I would be surprised if Georgia Tech goes undefeated in the ACC. They seem to play close games every week. You've got BYU playing close games. Like, you're bound to lose one of these, which opens up more paths for an SEC team, like that 5th or 6th SEC team, like we talked about.